we interrupt your regularly scheduled pay-per-view predictions for an breaking news all-women's predictions. Because that's what this pay-per-view is.
Yeah.
It's WWE's touted first ever all-women's pay-per-view, except Impact has done a bunch of them.
Well, it's the first in WWE.
Yeah, but they don't put that caveat when they announce it.
But nothing else exists within the world of WWE. So I still feel like
Yeah.
in their world, it is the first one.
Yeah. Which I just want to give a quick shout out to the fact that they are committing so hard to making it an all-women's pay-per-view.
Except for Michael Cole.
Yeah, with, I think the only reason why he's on there is there's no tenured female commentator.
Yeah.
Because as good as Renee is, and Beth Phoenix is kind of actually finally coming into her own as a commentator,
Yeah. She has her moments.
neither of them are strong enough, I think, to hold the pay-per-view down.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the kickoff show will be Renee and Beth and Paige, along with Charlie Caruso and Caleb Braxton on doing a red carpet kind of gimmick. They're going to be using Dasha, Kathy Kelly, and Sarah Schreiber for backstage interviews, and Caleb Braxton, JoJo, and Lillian Garcia will be doing the ring announcing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's literally an all-women's cast, especially if you include Michelle Cole.
Michelle McCool.
No, she's in the Battle Royal.
No, that's Michelle McCool.
It's close enough.
Okay. Yeah. No. I give him credit for trying to go just as full all women's cast as they possibly could for this.
Yeah, and there's a thing that I want to research is, did they do women commentary for all the knockouts only pay-per-views for TNA?
Nope.
Yeah, there you go. There's one-ups.
Yeah. Also, I mean, we do have one full-time NXT referee who is a woman.
Two.
They signed another one.
Just before Mae Young Classic 2.
Yeah. And then they did bring in another one for the Mae Young Classic, a woman who does a lot of indie, so I'm wondering if she might end up being, if we just do all women referees as well. I mean,
it's very possible.
We'll have to see if they go that far, or if maybe Michael Cole and the referees will be the only guys allowed on the show, other than an all women's camera crew, maybe. Okay, maybe that's taking a little too far. But anyway, we're gonna talk about.
It'd be cool, but
unnecessary.
Yeah,
unnecessary. All right, so yeah, we've got 7 matches we got to talk about. No pre-show matches announced. Pre-shows probably more so going to be seeing a lot more Hall of Fame type people coming in to watch the show.
It's potential for a lot of.
It's going to be a lot of fanfare.
Yeah, and a lot of probably a lot of the people who wanted to be involved but didn't want to do it in a wrestling capacity.
Yeah.
I think you might see Jacqueline there. You might see a couple other people.
Molly Holly.
Well, Molly's in the Battle Royal.
Is she? Okay. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't remember if she had been guaranteed for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do, if they do end up deciding to put a match on there. If it's going to be some NXT people or what.
I hope so, because they only have the one match on the card.
Yeah, I think putting an NXT match, even if it is just if they do Bianca versus Nikki Cross, would be a great people will want to be at the pre-show for an NXT match.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but with that being said, let's talk about all the stuff that's on just
the card,
just the Evolution card. We're gonna leave. Let's do non-titles first.
Okay.
So we have. We'll start with our regular tag team match, which we have a little bit of a note about this one. We have Trish and Lita versus Mickie James and Alexa.
Yeah, so the idea is that Alexa has just recently been coming off of an injury.
Right.
A lot of people were speculating it's a neck injury that's causing a lot of the same tingly fingers.
Yeah.
Which
is a very commonplace for wrestling.
But not a good thing to happen.
No, not at all.
And she came back. She had a couple matches, and over the weekend, I think it was the first house show, she wrestled on the house show and then was pulled from the following 2 nights, and then didn't appear on Raw.
Right.
Which leads to a lot of people thinking that the injury was re-aggravated. Maybe she came back too early. Maybe they should have kept her off until the pay-per-view itself.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to be waiting until the very last minute possible to evaluate and try and get her back on the show.
Yeah, they're essentially waiting like within the last 24 hours before the show is when they're going to officially decide whether or not she's good to go.
And that most likely Alicia Fox will take her place if she's not good to go.
Which is why we saw Alicia Fox and Mickie James beating up Trish and Lita on Monday. I think for me personally, regardless of what combination ends up being, I see Trish and Lita taking this.
Absolutely.
I think that's a no-brainer. It's team bestie. It's 2 Hall of Famers. They've been, as far as promo-wise, they've been run into the ground over and over and over again. This has a Trish and Lita win written all over it.
Practice?
Penta?
He needs to practice standing up there.
Yeah. Then we'll up that tag team match to a 6-woman tag team match where the Riot Squad...
2 more.
Exactly. The Riot Squad will take on the team of Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya. This has been a really good build-up, I think, especially with the Riot Squad kind of finding their footing as far as...
groove.
They know what they do on the shows. This is a good return for Sasha. Bayley, I think is starting to become a little bit more important than she has in recent memory. And it's always good to see Natalya in a high profile situation.
Yeah, and I like that this storyline started with Natalya.
Yeah.
With the open challenge that Ronda put out, having the Riot Squad drag Natalya's limp, almost dead-looking body to the ring area.
So it's had a nice couple of month build, and now especially with Sasha having been injured, it's a good comeback for her. And I know at least her and Ruby Riott have really good chemistry, so should be fun to watch. Who do you see taking the 6-woman tag?
This was really hard for me to pick.
This is a difficult one for me, but I think I've got mine nailed down.
I'm gonna go with the Riot Squad.
Me too.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things where it's like when the brand split happened again, and both sides brought on new female stables right away.
Yeah.
There was Absolution on Raw and the Riot Squad on SmackDown, and Absolution immediately kind of started making waves.
Yeah.
The Riot Squad had a very inconspicuous start.
Yeah,
it was a lot of it because the fact that it happened like right back to back 2-3 women stables, a lot of people were just like, oh well, the Riot Squad's just the SmackDown version of Absolution.
And they also kind of had a handicap because their leader wasn't Paige.
Yeah. They didn't have an already main roster established person in their group. So what this is going to do is this is going to be their claim to fame.
I agree.
They're going to get that one big win on this first ever pay-per-view scenario, and that's what they're going to be able to, because they can only tout, oh, we like to break stuff for so long.
Yeah.
Before nobody cares about it.
Exactly. But to go into the first ever women's pay-per-view in WWE and beating 3 former women's champions is going to be a huge staple in their career. And and you can branch off so many different ways from this point. You could keep running a feud with just Sasha and Bayley, and then maybe in some sort of like mix-up, Charlotte comes over and we have another member of the 4 Horsewomen, or maybe Becky's turned back around by that point. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with these 6 women in particular.
And I'm going to predict that maybe in the match or maybe outside of the match, we're going to get the continuation of the potential. And I'm going to say it. I'm not going to say the feud between Sasha and Bayley.
Okay.
But the potential romance between Sasha and
You really think they're gonna go with that?
I do. I think they did the really I love you bit
when they were still beating the shit out of each other,
and then they were like friend for a few weeks, and then Sasha got hurt.
Yeah.
And I think right before Sasha got hurt, they were starting to kind of toe the line again. And I think they're going to go full bore into it, starting maybe something during the match or post-match backstage.
Okay. So we're not waiting until Raw. It's happening at Evolution.
Potential. And I think it could come down to, and with our prediction, Riot Squad's going to win, it could come down to, potentially
Bayley
loses the match and Sasha goes in to console her kind of scenario.
Or Bayley sacrifices herself to make sure that Sasha doesn't get hit.
Yeah.
Well, one of the matches that could be very, very quick or could take a while, depending on how many women actually end up being in it, is the Evolution Battle Royal, where we've got a ton of current women. We have a bunch of returns coming.
Yeah, I'm going to see how many I can remember off the top of my head real quick. Tamina, Asuka, Naomi, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Lana, Selena Vega, Tori Wilson's in it.
Yeah.
Carmella's going to be in it. Nia Jax, Ember Moon, Dana Brooke, potentially Alicia Fox, maybe if she's not in the other match. And then the added in legends on top of that, we get Maria's making her in-ring comeback for WWE, even though she's already on TV again. And then Molly Holly, Ivory, Michelle McCool, Kelly, and Alundra Blaze.
That's 21 that you just named.
And Molly Holly. Did I say Molly Holly already?
You said Molly Holly. You said Tori Wilson earlier.
Yeah.
You said
Molly Holly.
You said
Molly Holly's going to be in it.
So we're at 21. Trying to think if there's anyone else that I'm. Yeah, I think that's.
I think
that's
everyone.
Everyone.
So.
Anyway, so 21 women already.
Yeah, and you can imagine they could add in NXT UK, other legends that aren't on the show. Victoria. That'd be awesome to see.
Oh yeah.
Shaniqua.
Probably not going to happen.
I don't know. I mean, weirder things have happened.
Here's one thing that
Michelle.
Here's one thing that I want to happen.
One that I almost would be certain would be a surprise entrant in it, just because of the Mae Young Classic. I wouldn't be surprised to see Caitlyn show up in it.
Oh, absolutely. But the one person that hasn't been announced that I want this to happen, I want her to pull a Royal Rumble. I want Beth Phoenix just get up from commentary, get in there, and have a fucking Glamazon outfit on underneath whatever suit she's wearing at the commentary
That would be really
table.
cool.
I think that'd be awesome.
I want to see Awesome Kong.
Oh hell yeah! The rumors of the idea that the cast of Glow was going to be there in some form. I mean, that could be another thing that happens on the red carpet situation. Is we have
absolutely.
That. So yeah,
they could be sitting ringside.
Absolutely. So if Awesome Kong does end up getting, or Karma ends up getting involved somehow,
Welfare Queen.
Probably not Welfare Queen.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to translate nearly as well to WWE as it does to Glow. But I mean, if you watch Glow, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. That being said, who do you think is going to win the thing?
I don't fucking know.
Because
it's either Ember Moon or Asuka.
It is for a guaranteed women's championship match.
I think, man. So yeah, the two things this week where they really highlighted the Battle Royal itself, it seemed like the top contenders are either Ember Moon or Asuka. I think both of them have a good chance to be there. I think if I was going to pick between the two, it would be Asuka. But I really want them to capitalize on someone unexpected.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm going with my pick.
I want to say that you should go first because I'm still thinking.
All right. I'm going to go out of the blue, and, it's the thing that never happens in the Rumbles,
Yeah.
The comeback or the one-off never wins.
Yeah.
I'm going Michelle McCool.
That'd be fucking awesome.
I'm going for a Michelle McCool versus Becky Lynch on SmackDown.
Ooh. That'd be so good. I'm into that. Okay, I'm gonna say... Fuck it. I'm gonna go Ember Moon.
All right.
Just because she's been pushed to the moon on Raw. No pun intended. Didn't realize that until I said it. But yeah, I think, with the people that are kind of in the top spot as far as the Raw Women's Championship goes, you kind of need something like this to really, like, put yourself in the... Ronda has said that she's a fighting champion, and I fully believe that. But for Ember Moon to just be like, all of a sudden, like, I'm going to fight Ronda Rousey. Like, there needs to be something.
A catalyst.
Spoiler alert, I think Ronda's going to beat Nikki. But I think there definitely needs to be a reason as to why Ember Moon would fight Ronda Rousey, and I think that works. But one person that I don't think is going to win, but I think she's going to have her Santino moment, is what I'll call it. Dana Brooke will be like
one of the last people in.
It'll be one of those things where it's like Dana's just about to win, but then kind of,
Okay, now that being said, and I would like to do this kind of thing for the Rumble too.
Okay.
Is if you had to pick, who would you pick as who do you want to see win the thing?
Who do I want to win?
Yeah, like if you got to pick the winner, who are you picking?
I in all honesty, there's a ton of fantastic names. I think just with the fact that it would be unexpected, and it would, I think she's made a lot of progress. I would actually pick Dana Brooke. I think since breaking away from Titus Worldwide, she's done a lot of really good things. She's had some great singles matches on Raw, and I think that this would be a good shiny moment. Not necessarily would she go, because she'd probably get fucking destroyed by Ronda Rousey.
Oh yeah,
but I think
she has a couple times.
Yeah, so I think a moment like this would be good for someone who hasn't really had anything since NXT.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be good, because I don't think anyone else in this necessarily needs it as much as Dana does. What about you?
Just for nostalgia's sake, Alundra Blaze.
I wouldn't mind Ivory also.
Yeah. If you think about it, Ivory's been out since I think 2001.
Sounds about right. 2001, 2002.
But Alundra Blaze has not wrestled in a WWE ring, or as far as she hasn't wrestled since 2001.
Yeah.
Like with the collapse of WCW.
Was she still with WCW when they fell? Okay.
And then she left when she found out that Vince was buying it.
Oh. Wow.
Ivory continued to wrestle for I think a few years after leaving WWE. So it's literally been 18 years almost to the day.
Wow.
Since Alundra Blaze's last match.
Man.
Almost 2 decades since the last time she's had like a match. To my knowledge. I haven't heard of her doing any kind of independent show ever.
Okay, I want to know right now, how hard would you pop if you knew that Alundra Blaze was going to challenge Becky Lynch?
Oh. And you know what? It would be an amazing match.
Oh, absolutely. But I know that you've been a fan of Alundra Blaze forever, and Becky Lynch, you've known about for years. That'd be
good. That'd be fun.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. All right. So our next thing that isn't for a championship, but still is a pretty big fucking deal, especially if you've already seen our review of the entire tournament. We have the finals of the Mae Young Classic, where Io Shirai will battle Toni Storm to see who is the 2018 Mae Young Classic finalist, winning that trophy. And potentially, Kairi Sane did it, moving on to either NXT or one of the other shows, NXT UK, as a future women's champion. This one is difficult for me.
I've got my pick. Toni Storm.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Shock you with that one?
Surprise you a little bit. I thought for sure you were going to say Io Shirai.
Well, here's the deal. If it was last year, I would definitely have said Io Shirai. Because that's why Kairi Sane won last year.
So you don't think that they're going to be like, well, we were going to have you win last year, so...
Exactly. I also have another reason, but that taps into something else I know that you don't know, and I don't want to spoil anything for you.
That's fair, and I appreciate that. I'm also going to go with Toni Storm because I'm playing favorites. Because I really liked Toni Storm in last year's Mae Young Classic. I think Toni Storm is a fantastic wrestler, character, just overall person in the world of wrestling, and the fact that she's with the NXT UK brand and everything. I want great things for Toni Storm.
Yeah,
because I think she's fucking earned it.
And now we go on to championship matches.
Title matches.
NXT, ironically, rematch of last year's Mae Young Classic.
Which is cool in its own right, especially being on the same show as this year's Mae Young Classic finals. I think it's really hard for me to say anything other than Kairi Sane retaining.
Exactly.
Because
we're in agreement on like everything in this pay-per-view so far.
Shayna had her, her moment in the sun. She had
her moment, and I think this is her last NXT match.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You think
I think she's getting the call up after this.
She going to Raw to be with Ronda?
Or probably not. Actually, no? Maybe, I don't know. It's hard telling. Here's my thing with Shayna Baszler is right now neither roster needs another big heel.
That's true.
So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm going to eat my words because maybe they're going to wait for a less heel dominated roster to bring her up.
I think keeping Shayna on NXT for a while, not necessarily in a continuous wrestling capacity, but being a catalyst for the other horsewomen to come in.
Marina and Jessamine?
Yeah. To have her kind of be the vessel that brings them to NXT.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Whether they go at it like a Shield type of situation where they just go out and beat the shit out of the rest of the women's division, or if it's
the
like
Shield.
Yeah, the Shield. Whether they do it that way, or whether it's just like Shayna shows up and like whoever the champion is like worried that Shayna's coming after him, and then all of a sudden they get fucking attacked by Marina and Jessamine. Like, however they're gonna do it, I think that would be a good way to introduce those two while still keeping Shayna on the brand for a while, and then maybe moving them up as a package deal heading into what I'm assuming is in the very near future of horsewomen versus horsewomen. Kind of hard to do at the moment, considering Charlotte and Becky Lynch hate each other.
Yeah.
So
it won't be until after WrestleMania.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to Raw next because, Ronda Rousey is gonna murder Nikki Bella.
If it goes
probably Brie as well.
If it goes the other way around, I will punch a very nice person. I don't know.
Here's the thing. I can almost guarantee that it's hard to tell where they're gonna put this particular match. In my opinion, I would assume, and I think it makes more sense to have Charlotte versus Becky as the main event.
Yeah.
But Nikki versus Ronda is Raw.
Yeah.
And Raw normally gets a main event like that.
Yeah, and it's a name drawing power thing.
Absolutely.
Too. Ronda Rousey being the UFC trailblazer, and then WWE promotes the shit out of Nikki Bella.
Absolutely. So, the problem is putting putting Ronda and Nikki in the main event. Not that I would compare these two to these two men, but it's the same thing as kind of a Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar type of thing. Especially if you decide to go the way of Nikki Bella. If Nikki Bella defeats Ronda Rousey for this championship at this show, that will be the major talk of this show, and it will be all negative.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, this is... I mean, you could go semi-main and just give the crowd what they want and have Ronda eat Nikki Bella alive.
Yeah.
And that will, send the crowd home happy, especially if your next match is a last woman standing for the SmackDown Women's title. But yeah, I think that match itself is a make or break moment for this show specifically. Because it can either go real good or it can go real bad. So go Ronda. And then finally, last woman standing, Becky Lynch defends the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair.
And in my opinion, she's going to absolutely do just that.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I guess I can't imagine them giving the title back to Charlotte.
Yeah, and here's where I'm at the cross. Like, this is my crossroads, and I mean, I spoiled my thought because I said specifically Michelle McCool versus Becky Lynch on SmackDown.
That's true.
That I think Becky Lynch is going to win. I have that nagging tug of the thing is I can't figure out how she's going to win because Charlotte is booked so powerfully that like the only time that she ever gets bested is like when she gets fought with unexpectedly. And now she's going in to a big time fight with no rules, but she's being able to prepare for it, and it's against somebody that she knows better than like anybody else on SmackDown.
Yeah. I think in a way it'll play out very much like Hell in a Cell did, where Charlotte had Becky's number, Becky was frustrated and everything. Essentially, it's going to be Hell in a Cell with just way more violence because there are no rules through the entirety of it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of those things where Charlotte is so close, but they're like something out of the fucking blue, Becky pulls out and wins. What it is, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, that's the hard one, is how is Becky going to win this match?
She's going to punch Ric Flair in the face.
And here's the thing, too, is, like, with the idea of, like, okay, Charlotte's going to lose, but Charlotte doesn't lose.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way they book Charlotte, is even when she loses, she doesn't lose.
Yeah.
She still looks strong every single time. And do not be 1% shocked, even, if they give you an almost carbon copy finish from the Gargano champ at Last Man Standing. Where
I didn't even think about that.
Charlotte goes for a move,
misses,
and hurts herself,
and Becky by some strange happenstance is able to just be on her feet for like the last second.
Yeah.
All right. I also wouldn't mind if they use this as a catalyst to move Charlotte into a different feud, maybe having someone like the Iconics take, be not necessarily be there for Becky, but be there because they don't like Charlotte.
Yeah.
They were the reason that Charlotte lost the title to Carmella.
Yeah.
So maybe just for whatever reason, the Iconics have some issue with Charlotte and help Becky Lynch in this situation, or even Mandy and Sonya. Someone else getting involved, since it is no rules. Charlotte kind of set herself up for this. Does she make an enemy? Did she piss someone off? Did she rub someone the wrong way? And then put herself in a situation where it was perfectly legal for said person to ruin her chances at being SmackDown Women's Champion again.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see. And we'll find out this Sunday on the WWE Network For the low
Probably
price
tomorrow.
of $9.99. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
If you're watching this
is
the day we upload it.
Predictions are usually put up on Saturday, so if anything, it's tonight at the latest. So, let us know down below who you think is going to win at WWE Evolution.
Do you agree with us? Because we agreed on like everything but the Battle Royal.
Yeah. And that's how Battle Royals work, because there's a lot of people to choose. Let us know who else you think might be in the Battle Royal. Who would you book to win the Battle Royal?
Play favorites, everybody.
Do it. Let us know down below what you're excited for. But for now, guys, thanks for watching.
Do all those YouTube-y things.
All that stuff.
Commenting, subscribing, liking.
Check out all the
bell
other videos.
Notification button.
Videos,
ding,
links.
ding, click the bell. It's wrestling. It's related. You should bell the wrestling channels more than any other YouTube channels.
If Dario Cueto was still alive, I would want him
to yell, click the bell.
Yeah. And I'd put that on every video we ever did. Rest in peace, Dario. But yeah, do all those things. Check out the other videos. You know, whichever one. Check them all out if you want. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. You got a big backlog if you want to catch up.
Yeah. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you some other time.
Probably next video.
Maybe.